what is the most underrated beauty secret that you have?
I would say I really like to use dry shampoo for like volumizing my hair
Okay.
rather than just removing oils. I feel like it has a lot of different benefits.
Okay.
Other than just what a lot of people think it's for.
So I just learned something about dry shampoo and I totally changed the way that I think about it. I had someone tell me, they're like, no, like you apply it when your hair is clean so that as it gets oily, it doesn't happen as fast. So y'all know the secret.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, listeners, if you don't know that, here's the hack. Okay. Chantal, what's yours?
I definitely love to just fan my face after doing my makeup and things like that, because it just having that like dryness, like so that you apply the next product, it doesn't smear, it doesn't cake, you don't have that cakiness or whatever. So just making sure you fan your face and like.
Does it help it like, does it set also?
Yeah, it definitely helps set it for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I clearly do my makeup a lot. So yeah, y'all are helping me out. Cool. All right. So mine, like I think with this, I just think everybody, if you're not using skincare yet, like have an AM routine and have a PM routine. That is the hack. I mean, I sometimes roll on like 2.5 hours of sleep. And I think one of the things that is really, really helpful, like if your face looks dead and it's just dry, I think that hurts the whole thing.
For sure.
So those are our beauty secrets that we're sharing.
Yes.
All right, let's jump into the episode. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. So we are at the Kevin Murphy Mid-Atlantic Retreat, and I'm here with Lily and Chantal. They're from ECLIPS Salon, and y'all might know this about me, but in the salon tenure, one of the things I thought was so incredibly cool was the apprenticeship. And I just happened to be with a live actual apprentice and the individual that within their salon organization, like this is where I love great servant leadership. I was talking to the owner of the company and she's like, hey, wait a minute. I got to have you talk to Chantal because that is her baby. Okay. So what I want to just say real quick, as we look at it, right? Why for y'all? Because like some states, like in your area, it sounds like apprenticeship is quite common, but some states don't have access to it. So what's something for y'all? Like what makes it really special for y'all?
I think what's really special about having an apprenticeship program within your salon is definitely being able to grow your business and your brand by teaching those stylists, like, and you're raising them up as your own, from the jump, like from the beginning.
Yes.
And like helping them create, like start their business, like, and teaching them the skills and the techniques and the foundations of what your brand and what your salon is looking for.
Yeah.
Instead of like hiring out,
That was literally what we found as well with us. It was like, you end up like hiring someone, you're like, the school in our area, it just was not doing a great job. It was like they barely got them passing their boards. And then it was like we had to do another whole year with them. And it's like the business is basically taking this on anyway. We can probably do it better. Was that what y'all experienced?
100%. We actually have had quite a few schools in the area that have closed.
Okay.
And
see,
and so they didn't, we just really haven't had many options really for people to be able to go to school.
Yeah.
And we started our apprenticeship program 15 years ago.
15, y'all.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
And since then, like you grow and you change and you learn from it and you like what works best and what you keep going, what's doing well and maybe what's not working out so well.
Yeah.
But then just like, you just like, I guess for me, really personally, it's like, I just enjoy watching them grow.
Yeah.
And that gives me like the motivation to keep doing this for so many years and just helping them, watching and being able to like see them progress and then become amazing stylists behind the chair.
Yeah.
And also then providing for their families and like just seeing that growth.
When I met you, it was interesting because like the moment that I said apprenticeship, like the joy that I saw come on your face was super cool. So I'm going to jump over here. So Lily, like as we spoke about that, were you always wanting to get into the industry or how did that come to be? And then how did you choose ECLIPS?
Yeah. So I had a lot of connections to ECLIPS growing up. I have lived in Ashburn pretty much my whole life. And I had personally gone to ECLIPS. My mom went and saw Chantal for many years. And
that's special.
Yes. And so when I was getting to my final years of high school, I was kind of struggling on what I wanted to do. I knew that college wasn't the right route for me, but I didn't want to like not go to school. I wanted to do something that really piqued my interest, and that was always the beauty industry and specifically hair.
Yeah.
And so I think my mom had a conversation with Chantal where she had mentioned this apprenticeship program to her. And my mom was like, wow, this feels like such a perfect fit for my daughter. And so she brought it to my attention. I was like, I think this is what I want to do after I graduate. And so I did it. I graduated a year ago. So I've been in the apprenticeship for about a year.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Good Lord. Just so much power coming into the industry.
Yes.
So let me just discern this for a quick minute. This is like one of the things we've been talking about a lot is like the amount of maternal energy that exists within this industry. So let's rewind this real fast. So just to make sure that I understood this right. So your mom was a client of yours.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. And then you ended up being a client of the salon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then through that, like how long ago, like where did this begin, your client journey that you had with her mom? How long ago was that, would you say?
With your mom?
Yeah.
Probably 10. I want to say maybe 8 years. Let's say 8 years
ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I think that's one of the things that I think is so beautiful. So like think of an 8-year process. Like imagine if like, y'all, people move and, salon hop and things of that nature. So like to those of you that are listening to this, I think it's such a cool storyline. And it was one of the things that like I always felt was so special in Anagen was when we would have people that would be like, they would hear about us turn into a client, and then the next thing you know that they're on the team, right? So that's super cool. In that Arabic, so it sounds like you were like, I was already in ECLIPS, you like the culture and the branding and things of that nature. So I'm going to pitch it back to you now. So within the brand, like y'all are a big team.
Yes.
Right?
We're a very big team.
So let's define, how does the apprenticeship model, how does it serve the culture, and how does it serve your clientele? Because like y'all are a high-end salon.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So the apprenticeship program and like how it serves our clientele is, so within our program, they work as assistants within the salon. That's how they generate their hours. Right.
Yep.
So for our clients, they get to see and work with them, like
be a part of the journey.
To be a part of the journey. They're washing their hair, they're helping blow dry, they're applying toners for us, things like that, and then giving that client experience to them, and then the client who comes regularly gets to watch the journey and see like, oh my gosh, I remember like now you've graduated. Oh my gosh, I remember when you just started shampooing me, and now look at you. You're behind the chair. You have your own, And I have actually quite a few clients of mine that have then moved on with my apprentices.
Totally makes sense.
And just been like, no, I'm gonna, or sending their children to them, and being like, okay, actually, my daughter, is looking for this style. I know that Lily would probably be really great with that or whatever, So just having that client, all those clients, watching them grow, because they are very much a part of our salon team.
Yeah.
They really do help, the stylists in their everyday, and we also train our apprentices at the front desk.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not just
what stage of the process do you do the front desk training?
Immediately.
Yeah. See, that was the same thing that we did, because like, once upon a time, there's a company that they were like, and then at the end of it, we train them on the front desk. I was like, they could have been serving everyone in the organization the whole time. Like, what are you doing here? So that's really cool. So again, on that side of it, so y'all are really building that into the culture so that like the client has the experience that everyone in the organization, like growth is always going on. Anagen, so the salon that I had founded, we had tenure with, Anagen is the growth phase of hair. Y'all obviously know this. But there was one of those things that I thought was like really, really special. So, all right, Lily, so how long have you been in the apprenticeship program so far?
It's been about a year.
Okay.
So I started the apprenticeship program in August.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
So tell me about the most recent thing that you learned, and what was your like, oh my gosh, aha moment?
Yeah, we are wrapping up our classes, and so we're ending with haircutting, and I just the way that I've learned about cutting, it's one of the most beautiful arts.
Yeah.
I genuinely like Chantal tells some stories of like how, especially like in what we were just talking about this in 2007, like when people weren't able to come in and get their luxury services, people always need their hair cut.
Yeah.
And there's just so many different ways you can cut hair to like match everyone's different face shapes and all that kind of stuff. And so it's been super intriguing to learn about that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What was your like the haircut or the part in haircutting that you struggled with the most?
Oh,
I love the smile that you got on your face when I said that. It could be a good story, maybe.
I've had some issues. I would want to say like, just making sure I'm like matching my guide and like following my guide throughout the whole head. Like I will be cutting my mannequin and then like Chantal or our other teacher, her name's Camilla, will come by and be like, hey, you missed a piece. I'm like, where did you pull that from?
Yeah.
I did not see that. Like, so it's just really, getting the hang of everything. But I have really learned to love it. I was very nervous about cutting. I think it's very, you hear about cutting hair and it's like kind of a scary, like, oh my goodness. But, the more I've learned about it, the more I've been like, wow, this is actually really fun. I really enjoy learning about this.
Yeah. That's so cool. And I think it's one of those pieces that we commonly see. So we have something that we've built. We are a commissioned salon. So a lot of the time we deal with people that have onboarding issues because like it's a big investment, right? And it's a long tenure of an investment. So we have a product called the Artist Academy where we basically go through and it's like, styling, cutting, and coloring. And one of the things I think is so the apprenticeship is like basically you don't like our experience is a lot of the time we're reteaching cutting for what happened in school because they just blaze over it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And cutting is usually the thing then that averagely in the market, like people don't figure out until a couple of years into their career. So their business can't grow as quick. So one of the things that we find is when we're able to make sure and try and equip you properly with competence in cutting, it allows your business to build faster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to discount color, to be clear, y'all. Like I'm a big fan of color. However, though, if you do a great color, what kills the value of it is a not great haircut that lives on it, right?
Right.
So I want to ask you real quick, Chantal. So when you think of the entirety of the curriculum in all of the 15 years that y'all have been doing this, I'm imagining that you move things around, right? As you're like, gosh, it doesn't fit there. It doesn't work quite as well. What is the one thing that you're like, this is the secret to the curriculum? You don't have to give your secret away, but like, what is the one thing that you're like, we moved this here and it served us so much better in their technical ability? Does that question make sense?
Yes. I think the one thing that we have definitely done and that we've kept is our first class is blow drying.
Yeah.
I mean, that one, because they are starting, as assistants in the salon, that's the thing that as stylists, we need help with the most.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately that will always be first class blow dry. Like we're going to teach you, what brown brushes are, how to hold your hair dryer, way to section the hair, how to get volume, how to, also, taking textured hair and pulling that straight.
All textures of hair.
Or, diffusing hair.
Yeah.
Using that, understanding the differences of that. And like, that way, I mean, that's actually one of the, we have a stamp book that they have to complete.
Yeah. We
And
use a workbook in the Artist Academy as well.
And that one has like, because it's the first thing, that one has like the most stamps because it's like, you're going to be able to do that all the time, And so, that definitely the blow drying aspect first and foremost, like you need to knock that one out.
Well, and so in the Artist Academy, we that is in the beginning as well, because what it also allows them to do is help on the salon floor. Here's the thing, like in with all respect, right? Like there's certain skills I'm like, gosh, I'm running a little bit late, right? And I have a tenured career with a tenured clientele. Do you want to just jump in and do this haircut? Like I'd be setting you up for failure, right?
Yeah, right.
Whereas if we focus on the finishing, hey, I just got to get there. I'm going to have Lily jump in and she's able to serve the team. I love that. Okay. So y'all, I'm going to close this out. But I got one question for each of you.
Yes.
Okay. So, and I'm going to have you both looking at this a little bit differently. So I want you to think about a future state, right? Like you're licensed, you've built a business, and you're looking back. Like, let's say that you're 10 years out into your career, right?
Okay.
Fully built business, is doing the things you wanted to do. You've built up, you have the lifestyle,
Mhm.
right? At 10 years out, what would you say to this individual?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'd have a lot to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that being at ECLIPS has really set me up for success. I feel like, we were talking about schools, and a lot of the schools, around where we live have shut down, unfortunately, because, these hairstylists, they're not getting the proper education to set them up for success. So I would just say I feel like I would be very appreciative looking back and knowing that my teachers genuinely cared not only about how talented I was, but who I am as a person. And like, I would say, like, also making sure that I am using my talents that I have as Lily for good. And so, I don't know. I would just say that I was really set up for success.
Yeah.
And that I think that the reason that I am still in the hair community 10 years from now is because I was at ECLIPS and I started their apprenticeship program.
I can't even imagine how
Dude,
you
I cry
feel
all the time
right now. I literally was like sitting here. I was like, Lily, like, you, like, I mean, I could cry, but it's a little bit early in the day.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, okay, now, Chantal, my question for you is, so at your lens of it, with everything that you've seen and all the humans that you've had go through this, if you were to say to this individual where she's at right now, just like a bit of acknowledgement or like encouragement, right? What would be that thought? And where I really want to presence you is think back to like when you were in her shoes at that point of the career. What would be the advice that you might give?
There's a lot there. That's a lot because, I mean, one of them definitely patience.
Yeah.
And confidence. Those are huge in the beginning because, a lot of times, when you are for starting off, your confidence is so low.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, just knowing that, like, if you have the patience and just keep going every day,
Yes.
like you definitely are going to get there. You're going to hit those goals that you make for yourself,
Yeah.
and it's tough because, in this industry, it is tough, with all things, like you're always comparing yourself to others or seeing other people's journeys, but just knowing that your journey is your journey
Mhm.
and that, like, just you're going to get there, you just have that patience and I'm like, all right, like now we're getting emotional. And like, but really it's, and then also, I mean, I always go now, this is one of, I guess, the biggest thing, pay yourself, save for your future.
Ooh.
Right.
Yeah.
I know he knows, like in our industry a long time ago, that was never told to us.
No. That's why we do what we do.
So, so like now these you have the opportunity to know that. So like even when you think that you're not being successful, you still like always put a little bit away for yourself, like for the future.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so first out, I literally, y'all, I was outside. We're at the Kimpton. I believe I'm in Virginia. I don't even know sometimes.
Yes.
What day of the week is it?
Right.
Is it Saturday?
It's Saturday.
Sure.
I think so.
Okay. So first out, this company was outside talking, and they began with two, and then all of a sudden the whole company was out there. And as we had this like organic conversation, we started talking about apprenticeship, and it's a place in my past life that I do have, like in the past organization, like a ton of passion within. And I think the part that I think is so cool is, whether you're doing apprenticeships or, if you're hiring traditionally, the main thing is that you heard here is that you really letting someone first have confidence and give them the tools to be able to build that, I think is so incredibly important. So I grabbed these two and I was like, hey, I'd love to have y'all on a podcast. I started with you and I was like, wait a minute, if I get both of y'all and have that last question I had, I was like, that's going to be a dream. So first out, I just want to say thank you. They were in a full day of education till 4:30, and then I grabbed them afterwards. So here's the thing, y'all. Sometimes in in your career, you just have to say yes to the thing. They could have been tired, right? They could have been exhausted, like mentally overloaded from the day, but they still said yes. And that's the thing that I want to acknowledge within both of you. I think this has been a really, really cool conversation.
Yeah.
As always, y'all, thank you for listening. We genuinely appreciate it. And I think this was y'all's first time on a podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Very first podcast.
Well, I'm glad that I got to be a part of that and for y'all. And as always, we're here to do unique things here at the Refine Network. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions at all, you can email us at hello@therefinenetwork.com. Or you can follow us on our socials. All right. Yes. So we have an event in like 2 hours.
Yes.
Right. So they're throwing a heck of a party tonight. Again, Kevin Murphy Mid-Atlantic, like picking the venue. This place is beautiful. So I can't shout y'all out enough. Pretty. And we're on stage tomorrow doing Unreasonable Hospitality. If you haven't heard about that, check out our past podcast. Thanks, y'all.
You're very welcome.
Of course.